Hey, I'm Swadhin, a PM with the Conversation Systems Group at MSR AI. Today I'm going to be talking about Project Conversation Learner. So Conversation Learner takes a machine teaching based approach to bot development. Uh, so what it does is it enables non-developers and generally domain experts to actually create bots just by using examples of multi-turn conversations. So that way it democratizes AI development from core developers to domain experts and dialogue authors in general. Uh, in contrast to rule-based dialogue management systems, bot building systems, which are either programmatic or declarative, what Conversation Learner does is it uses rules for golden path scenarios and augments that using a machine learning algorithm for greater scenario coverage. So typically the dialogue authors would come to the machine teaching UI of Conversation Learner, which looks something like this. So each model of Conversation Learner is an instance of a dialogue type that you want to build. So for example, here for the demo, we have a pizza ordering bot and a model associated with it. So dialogue authors would come in and actually give examples to create bots. So each example is what we call a trained dialogue, and a trained dialogue looks something like this. So the author actually acts as the user and the bot alternatively to give an example conversation, and that's how you build bots. So if you see here, the author can say, is saying someone comes in and says order a pizza with cheese, and then actually also specifies that the bot needs to respond with this specific response. We'll see how it works by creating a new train dialogue, by giving a new example for the bot to learn from. So I go and I say new train dialogue, and here the author needs to act as the user first, and let's say the user comes in and says I'm hungry to begin with. So I type in I'm hungry, this is what the user says. Now the developer actually selects, based on this user utterance and this context, what is the next best action that the bot needs to take. So what I do is I score actions. So out of a list of actions, so these actions were already created. These are the various different things that the bot can do, and each of those things the bot can do is called an action. And as you can see here, there are a set of rules that actually got implemented based on what entities are present in memory and what entities are not available. So entities are pieces of information that the bot uses to make decisions. So they can be either labeled from user utterances or they could be set programmatically. So based on these entities not being in memory or being in memory, rules took over and said, hey, this is the only action that is actually valid for this specific context. So let's go and select that. The first thing that the bot does is, what would you like on your pizza? And now if the user comes in and says, I would like some chicken and cheese, right? So if the user says something like that, so in this UI, we actually leverage Lewis for entity extraction. So based on previous training, it already kind of tagged chicken and cheese as different toppings that the pizza could take. If wanted, you could actually edit the labels from right here, and that will train a Lewis model in the backend. And once that labeling is done, we score actions again. Again, based on previous training, based on some rules, some actions are already disqualified, and based on the actions that are available, based on previous training, the machine learning model already scores a set of scores on what is the next best action it can predict. So it could be right or wrong, so the developer actually corrects if it is wrong to specify or train the model on the best action to take. So here, if you see in memory, based on a business logic, chicken was actually put out of stock because based on business logic, and the toppings cheese were added, and out of stock this action. So actions can be of type text that you respond as a bot with. They could be an API call that's calling another business logic, or there could be adaptive cards when you want to display UI. So here actually telling the user about that something is out of stock is the right thing. So we select that as the next best action, and because this is something called a non-wait action that the bot can keep responding and not wait for the user input. So the control still stays as a bot, so the developer can select the next action that the bot needs to take, which is asking, would you like anything else on the pizza? So this is an example interaction which you go iteratively to actually give a complete dialogue sample example, and as you build these train examples, you have your bot built. We also have a tree view to actually visualize, for you to visualize what are the different scenarios my bot is covering, and depending on what scenarios you think are missing, you can go ahead and add more train dialogues. Now the great thing about training or using example dialogues to create this bot is that improving over time becomes easy based on data, real data that as your bot is used by different users. So once you deploy, for example, you create a bot using these trained examples, and then you deploy a bot to end users, and as they start using the bot, you have those conversations available as log dialogues, and you can actually go ahead and review these log dialogues as conversations. And for example, this is a log dialogue, and see if there are errors. So here, for example, someone said I want a cheese pizza, and that's not tagged as a topping. So you can actually correct them in place from the log dialogues, make corrections as needed. So I want a cheese pizza, then this dialogue became invalid, so you need to say maybe correct the actual conversation that it needs to happen. So I am correcting it to say, hey, the bot needs to say you have cheese on your pizza, would you like anything else? And someone says chicken and bacon, then out of stock is the right thing, and then sorry, we don't have chicken and bacon, and would you like anything else? So now I've corrected, so in place I've corrected the conversation how it should be, and then I can save that as a new trained dialogue, and this goes and adds to your list of trained dialogues that your bot is trained on. So that's how you can create bots. So this is a bot building technology that's available for you to use right now to test and let us know, give us feedback. You can go to http://conversationlearner.ai to actually try this out. We have a Node.js SDK, and we are built over the bot framework v4 SDK. So you can actually use it with other bot building technologies like LewisDirectly or Q&A Maker or plain code-based Dialogflow logic. So you can combine them all to build a hybrid bot as well. So looking forward to your feedback on this. Thank you.